program is really, really important to me because it brings me from the back of the room to somewhere I can stand up and talk and say, well then, this is me. And when you have persons believe in you and know and keep telling you that you can do it, my life has been improved since we started the survey program. Because really and truly, when Miss Sharia visit us at the first staging, we weren't on this section of the building. We were on the other side and the place was really bad that we used to work in. So that is improved. My life has also been improved because I can stand here and talk to you. First time, that wouldn't be a part of me. I didn't even know that I could really reach to this stage where I am now the manager for Superior Craft and more. When you have people who believe in you and who are always there pushing you to do things, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. It doesn't matter the disability you have. It doesn't matter. Once you have persons around you who believe in you, you can do anything. And even sometimes, I know sometimes it's rough with persons, like other persons, because their parents don't let them out, they don't let them to come out and enjoy themselves or anything like that. Me,
and so I would call them and talk with them, and I tried. And they refused to budge. So in the second year, I dismissed, I think, 26 of them. In fact, I relocated them. You see, we don't believe in expulsion, we believe in relocation. So my colleagues in Manchester, we had some agreement, the principals, that they would relocate them, you know. And they learned that, look, if you don't put it this way, I would say to them that there's a law which says that you must finish at DC, having started, or any school for that matter. Plus, having gone to Cornwall College, the motto is learn or leave. But on a serious note, get back to the question. So, like Margaret, we tried with them, and what we did too, now we found that the senior ones were giving problems. So what I did was to immediately say not fewer than 5 subjects, mandatory, including Master English. And not long after, they would have to do 8 subjects, the full slate, no dropping of subjects. And even though for the past, I think, 5 years or so, they pursue 9 subjects. I say to them, look, you're doing a course of study, not math, English, etc. A course of study which leads to a high school diploma. So as far as I'm concerned, you're pursuing a course, not each subject. And that is why last year, for example, we had 7 students pass in 9 or more subjects, 100 pass 8 or more. And I should tell you that what I found too, the boys are the main culprits. And I had to work on them. And my VP confessed that she thought I was mad when I said to the Minister of Education in 1998, I think, please send me equal number of boys and girls, because the population showed 2 to 1 in favor of the girls. I said, send me equal number. And one officer called him, Mr. Mark, are you mad? I said, no, I'm quite sane. Why do you think I'm mad? And she said to me, if I send you equal number of boys and girls, look at the boys, and I was going bottom of the barrel. The grades were like in the 40s, 30s for the common entrance. As I send them come anyway, because in first form you can shape them. And they came in and we worked with them, had evening classes for them. And in fact, I said last week at a function, my greatest moment was when a boy last year was a top student in Jamaica for C6, 13 subjects, all distinctions. A boy. We had 2 girls before, but a boy. So we had to work on them, and even though the problems are far fewer than we have had. And you see, what I did too was to bring in some technical subjects, expanded curriculum, agriculture science, IT was compulsory. I remember somebody said to me, oh, you're making the school into a technical school. I was at Virtech. I said, no, let me correct you. A comprehensive school. You see, you can't go to school and just do a few subjects. When life awaits you, you have to do what you need to function. And so even now as we speak, no child leaves these with a skill. And in those days, limited resources and facility, we regard accounts as a skill, IT, agricultural science, home make foods and clothing and textiles. I got the machines myself, so I know what they are. So every child who leaves DC has something on which they can rely. And of course, most of them master English. And I teach masters myself. Sometimes, like Margaret. Let me give you a shared experience with you. But, you know, no, I know, but the 1 minute won't hurt. They need to know these things. My fellow principals, they didn't know these things. Because, listen, last year I said to them, I want a printout of all the math scores for the students. I have those data on my desk. I look at them every day. And I said to them, send me the lowest bunch, the ones at the bottom. And they sent me 30 students. Said, sir, they're gonna fail maths and they're gonna, because they think they look bad. As I said, them come. And I had in my office, my little conference room. And out of the 30, well, 4 more came. And 19 passed. And you know what gave me great joy? One miss, she had some kind of impairment. And although she was out of the 9, she did 8 eventually. She passed Master of Italy in 3. And her mother, a medical doctor, said to me, Mr. Mack, that in 3 is like a 1. She failed English. She passed maths. The truth is, you must be involved in these things. The data is important, very important. I use that in daily. And there's from way back when and it's an important way, that's why I'm saying it. From in 1997, I said to my you must give me data on a sheet of paper. And my student has been taught to look at the exam these things. She would give me the ones at the bottom. So the ones performed poorly, those are on my desk. And I call the teachers. Now we have better system as a data manager. So every year, the students see the data, the parents, and the teachers first. And they must account for it. I remember saying to the staff, bring your book to staff, your mark was the staff we discussed. I remember staff said to me, Mr. Mack, you want to embarrass the teachers? I said, you know what, if I saw it that way, it's a clinical way of looking at the grades. So enough said on that.
Boy, Millard is special. No, Millard is special. Give him a hand. No, Millard is. I want you to listen to it, I hope he answered your question, sir. I heard the part about relocation. I thought of those people in Mobile that were relocated years ago. As he said that, Millard is special. But what he has done has worked. Just try to remember that, there are different contexts, different strategies. What he's done has worked. One more question? 2 more. One over there, quickly.
Yes. Keisha Hale again, Padmore Primary. I must say that those are all mad principles. Rennie making a difference, really, really. But what I have to say is that we need a coalition of principals really helping principals and really sharing what works and what don't work. And what I've started to do as a primary principal is my children who pass, like for example, my school has never gotten a Campion College until last year. So last year I spoke with Grace and I gave her an update of the child that went there, and I'm pleased to say that she got some help because she was coming from a low socio-economic. She got some help from Grace. And this year again, I tell her I have another one. We have another one passing for Campion. And Grace, I hit up Grace and she said, yes, I will pass on the name and get some help for him. So it is good to have that, relationship between the primary principal and the high school principal. But what I've noticed is that the high school principals have their own association. So primary principal, I am starting an association for primary principal. So, yes. So my number is 31345 4539, hit me up. Thank you.
We got that. You can listen. Colleagues, this is an excellent opportunity for networking. Right after your final, you get the number and your network. Somebody over there, question, quickly.
No, question over here.
Where?
Over here.
Just to say.
Very brief question.
Yes, go ahead, quickly.
Okay,
Hold on. That one first, then that one.
Okay. In the context of the revolution that we have been talking about for the last 2 days, I would just like your response as to the relevance of this terminology, not academically inclined. We have a serious system problem that our system of education fails to educate the vast majority of our children, most of whom come from poor socioeconomic conditions. We must be able to fix our derricks to effectively educate the majority of our children. And I do not believe that this terminology, not academically inclined, and we're talking about primary and secondary education, folks, not university, not academically inclined is not helpful, in my opinion. I'd like to hear your research.
Well, I heard that, Robert. I think Millard will have answered part of it, and I'm not giving him back the mic. I'm going to ask Grace to address it, and then I'm going to ask Heather to give her 2 cents on it as well.
Before, one moment, sir. I wanted to say in response to Keisha, amazing principal of Padmore Primary, that exchange between the primary school principal and the high school principal was extremely important. I've asked my guidance counselor to reach out to the primary schools. I'm going to tell you why. So children come to us, and I don't pick up until about midway the term or the year that the child is slipping through the cracks, and the reason is that 96 average that I see in GSAT is the result of the grade 6 teacher at the primary school taking the child to our house and keeping her there and looking after her. I don't know that there's a grandmother who is, so those insights into what accounts for this child's support at home, I need to know, because the child comes to me and I'm assuming something is in place that is not in place, and I just begin to see this little one floundering. It's very helpful when Keisha gives me the heads up, and I know I'm on it right away, because we're going to save this one. Okay, not academic. I agree with you, sir. I think that we use that term too easily. I believe, certainly at the secondary school level, when there are children with learning deficits, there are children with challenges, clearly, and they tell us the statistics are alarming, that the numbers of our children who actually have serious impediments to their learning for all kinds of reasons, some of them physiological, all kinds. But I agree with you. To decide that a child cannot learn English or math, cannot be put through what they refer to as the traditional grammar school subjects, and therefore should be made to do that kind of language, that narrative. It's because they can't do those that they should do a technical vocational subject. We're way past that. We're well aware that children have all kinds of intelligences, as they tell us, and there is nothing that says with the correct support and the correct interventions, the child can't manage these subjects. So I agree with you that the terminology is not helpful at all.
Heather.
Quickly to the primary school, I can't resist. I became a primary school principal in 1991, and the same thing is so true there in terms of finding out early the needs of your students and getting teachers, how you place your grade 1 teacher to take them and who is your grade 6 teacher. So the staff selection and placing is as important in the primary school as it is at the high school. And we need the connect as well. And then I moved on to a Maud MacLeod, which is a regular high school, and I had to whisper to my then MP that, sir, this school is an embarrassment to your constituency. So you pull on all around you to get the help you need and to network. And to say that they are not talented, believe me, the students there at Maud MacLeod, I could have taken up some of them and put them right into a Hampton, and they would have done just as well and better. It is what we do with them when we get them to find out early one of my prized possessions still is a stool that a group of students made for me at Maud McLeod and presented me with. Because we changed the system, thank God for TechVoc rationalization. And when the ministry come with all the things we don't believe in or we half believe in, grab on to the part of it which is good and milk them for the good part, because although we don't like NSC, believe me, there's a good side to it. And although we never liked TechVoc rationalization, what it did to those schools and to my school was to give me the right equipment for my woodwork, for my metal work, for my home ec. And it was amazing, the work, when I had the students do 2 skills instead of 1 when they were at that level. So it's the wording and how we phrase it and how we make the big move into making all the playing field level at all others. I don't know when we're going to be brave enough to say, well, I won't go there.
Saffron's light soon come on. Before we take the last question, I want to bring us back to Professor Emdin's talk this morning about some of the reasons and how we go about assessing, teaching our students, some of the entry points, some of the history of why the system has been set up for us to create more workforce and more slaves. Remember some of what he said this morning. Think about it, because it is the reason, and it is certainly part of what we do with them, what we pay attention to, what we emphasize is very important. Your question, sir.
Yes, Mr. Moderator. My name is Aldrich Durant, Principal, Tivoli Gardens High School. And my staff, which is about 72, I have over 40 teachers with master's degrees. However, each year, my allotment of GSAT students, currently this year I got 250. Of my 250, less than 50, 37 of them scored 50 or above on the GSAT. I have students placed at my school with averages as low as 15%. My question to the panel, therefore, is this. You have done well. You have been excellent. Would you be willing to accept some of my students at the lower end, those with 15%, and work with them in light of the fact that that's all we receive? At the same time, we have teachers who are highly qualified.
I'm going to hand that question to Margaret first. Listen, that's a very big question, because there's a systemic answer to that, and I don't know if she can, but I'm going to leave it to my panel. Margaret.
I'll do my very best. That's quite a challenge. First, I'll just say a bit about context, right? We're very aware that the students coming into us are readers, they are capable, and that there are some schools where the students that come in have not been properly prepared for high. We can only share from our context, but I will tell you this. As a school leader, whatever context you put me in, I'm going to give it my best. I am going to strategize that thing to the ground. I'm going to find out how to keep my students at the forefront, and whether they are readers or non-readers, I'm going to do the very best I can to make sure that they have the best opportunity to excel. So it's not so much about, I do understand, and I'm coming back to the real question, but just to say that whatever context you're in, just put the students first and do the very best that you can. Find ways to address where they are. Now, would I be willing to take them in? I will teach anybody that wants to learn, and I'll even try to teach the ones that don't want to learn. I'm going to try and I'm going to drag you kicking and screaming. Once, though, on a practically answer that question, and St. George's was asked to take, in the year I think I arrived, the year after I arrived, so they were there from before, was asked to take GNAT students for the first time. There were, I think, 9 of them that came in from grade 9 through the grade 9 achievement test. The school separated them for some of their classes, so they put a special program in place, employed a special teacher to have them have remedial classes. So a large amount of their time was spent away from the rest of the class, from the regular class, and in special sessions trying to help them catch up. those students, almost all of them came to us with very, very good behavior. Majority of them left us 2 years later with not just continued atrocious academics, but atrocious behavior. It affected their self-esteem drastically to be the 9 students in a school community that was high-performing when they were not. So in terms of the reality of that question, would I take them and would I try? Yeah, I would try. But in terms of what we've learned from actually making an attempt at it, because it has been tried, it was not the best for them. Their self-esteem suffered so badly. And kids that came to us as good kids, despite our best intentions, I don't think any one of them graduated, and that's a practical explanation. Personally, would I try it? Yes, I would. But there you have the context of it.
Hold on, Milad. I will make you come last, Milad. Grace, quickly.
Okay, so I've been asked that. So Campion has this wonderful recipe. I'm going to send you some of, I just had a conversation with the son of Mrs. Grant Woodham. Is that her name? Woodham Grant? Grant Woodham. He came to see me from Tivoli Gardens, and we were talking about the reality of that school. And he said, Mrs. Baston, what would you have to say to the teachers at Tivoli? And I said, I'd have this to say, that what you are being asked to do is unreasonable. That to ask a school to take a group of students, not even reading at grade 1, and carry them through a CSEC curriculum and test them with those exams and then rank them with the rest of the country is unreasonable. It is impossible. And what I said to Mr. Woodham the time is, so the administrators need not just to, we need to put the children first, but here's how you put the children first. You say, this is not workable. These 1,400 children need to be in at least 5 separate smaller schools, in resource intensive, with all kinds of services available to them, including social work services and psychological, all kinds of things. They need to be almost residential with you. They're early in the morning, leaving late at night. They're most of the weekends. You cannot fix what you have with just saying teachers work a little harder because you can bring them up. It cannot happen. It cannot happen. And it is bound to frustrate the administration. It is bound to frustrate the teachers, because what you need is a model of schooling and a program designed for those children.
We have one more comment from, we have a closing comment from Milad. I won't even start on that. We have a Milad.
Question first, across there. At DC, I tell him that, look, if a doctor passes you unfit, I'm going to prove him wrong. So when they come in, we work with them and we get. To answer the question Mr. Duran posed, if your staff is so qualified, then they should be able to work on some strategies to help them. They're primary school level. So work with them at that level and build on the program. Different targets. Because where should they go? And I tell them, years ago,
give me my chance, colleagues.
Just like Margaret, colleagues, I can't expound too much, but if you hear me out, you would understand. Just like Margaret, we used to get 5 grade 9 swim, 5 grade 9 rows from Rose time. And I said to them, send me a class. Again, my staff thought I was mad. I said, your job is to teach, and we're going to work with them. And guess what? I mentioned statistics earlier. You know the rankings, they have done well. You see, self-esteem, self-confidence can be built. And once they got those in place, they can work hard. They won't pass 9 or even 8, but they can pass at least 5. And with a skill, they can go places. So if I were some of us, I would start belly aching and start working with them to help them to move on.
Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues. Hello, colleagues. You all made me have to stand. I know you want to ask more questions. I know there are burning issues. But will you agree with me that this afternoon's panel discussion and these last 2 days have been worth the time and the money? I see Safri sending me the red signal that I must wrap up. And I know I know Mr. Henry has some closing things to do. I hear there's a presentation to be made. Not sure who's going to make it, but I want to underscore again the wonderful experience we've had here through Jamaica National, Renee and her crew. I want to thank Mr. Jarrett personally. I see Esther coming up, and I hope she takes the mic and does the presentations. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I am sure you could stay here until tomorrow with that discussion. I mean, I've been in the middle of it a lot. But we want to say thank you to our panelists and to tell you that, of course, that Heather came all the way from St. Elizabeth and Miller came from Mandeville. And we want to thank Grace and I want to thank Margaret. You're all busy, and these people, we have to really pull them out. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks, Wayne, for managing this very potentially volatile discussion. And so on behalf of the JN Foundation, just a token for your contribution to today's very, very exciting conference. Thank you, Kalando. Here you are. Thanks, Margaret. I am Che Guevara. Yeah, channeling Che. Thank you. And thank you very much. Please remain with us. We will soon be finished, but we're having some few important things to do. Thank you.
Okay, so good afternoon again, everybody. So, based on all this amazing inspiration you have had for the last 2 days, we are now at the third and final category of one or two quick things based on what you have been inspired to try when you get back to your school. We don't want things that are going to be really, really expensive and really, really time-consuming. Simple, impactful, get used to it. Things are going to change around here. As you
Hey everyone, it's John Mark Prince.
And I'm Regine Bennett.
And we are of the KiDz Hub Media Network, and you are listening to us here at the Jamaica National Foundation School Leadership Summit 2016 at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel here in Kingston, Jamaica. Regine, can you just tell the listeners and viewers what we have done so far and what we have seen so far?
Well, so far we have to start off with in the morning. We had the attention roll call session 6. We had a session with the science professor, Dr. Christopher Emden.
Yes.
Then we had a little refreshment break to refresh
Yeah,
our
you
system.
know, refresh our
course.
system.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Session 7 where we had Mr. Peter and Mr. Taj Jensen.
So true.
And session 8A we had the young inventors. Very
Yes,
innovative.
a panel session.
Yes.
That was wonderful.
And then they have another one in a different room, John Mark.
Yeah.
Session 8B. Enter the boardroom, creating and sustaining a highly effective school board, which
Definitely.
I do think was very interesting.
It was
too.
really.
And we had lunch again.
Yeah.
And it was session 9 where, Dr.
Innovate, inspire, impact. Definitely. She was wonderful. Yes.
Session 10, quick wins,
wins.
bringing our staff and students best.
Yes.
Another panel again.
That's where we just really completed a while ago.
Yes.
So that panel session included of Mrs. Grace Baston, the principal of Campion, Mrs. Margaret Campbell, principal of St. George's College, as well as Mr. Millard McLeod, principal of Descartes College, and Mrs. Heather Moore, principal of the Hampton School. I think we found it really interesting, because the principals, their point of view, the other panelists were a youth point of view. I think really the purpose of all these panel discussions are to get a different point of view from the different parts of the school, where the students, the board, the principal, teachers. It was really interesting and engaging. And what we really have now is the revolution has begun, bringing it all together by Mrs. Gil Chambers. Yes.
Management consultant, facilitator.
And they're doing it as they've done for yesterday, a Jeopardy style game where they have a question placed up and they answer it in their best possible way, following the same Jeopardy rules.
With the response, and you have to give the question, so the response is something so simple yet impactful. Get used to it. Things are going to change around here. So
Yes. Okay, so Regine, just give me, your feel of today. What
and Jonathan, of course, it was really fun. And today it was really productive, of course. Yes, interesting.
It was.
I mean, the panel information given out towards the youths.
Definitely.
Yeah. And KiDz Hub has accomplished a lot. Another great opportunity again.
So true.
Thanks to Juice TV, because without them,
big
what
up.
So yes, thanks to Juice TV again and KiDz Hub Media Network for another great opportunity.
Yeah, man. Uncle Lance is really proud of us. Hear him talking to us. He's really proud. As well as our social media team. We have Asha Layla. Yeah, man. She's in Florida doing other social media work for us, working along with us. As well as we have Chevel. Yeah, man. Chevel Smith-Reed. She's at our New Jersey head office, and they're both doing social media work for us. We'd like to thank them very much for their time and what they've been doing with us.
And John Mark, how can you forget our listeners, viewers?
Definitely.
Thank you for tuning in.
But this is not the end, This is just it's just an update for you and for everyone. So just stay tuned before we end today and the 2 days for the Jamaica National Foundation School Leadership Summit. So stay tuned to KiDz Hub Media Network,
a positive place
where kids connect.
Somebody would be proud of you and say, you need to wear pretty boots. Okay.
Alicia Spence, Hillside Primary and Infant. So what is having my staff present to welcome each student back to school at the gate?
Did you hear the wows? Thank you. Okay. I don't know where all the mic people have gone. Who asked for it?
Paul Clear, Robert Librarian High, and mine is what is going on red. What is going on red? Yes. Good. Right, so I think I'm going to take more chances.
This is good stuff.
I am Yanet Holness, Robert Lightburn High School. What or how will it feel? What or how will it feel to walk on this collaborative journey to the next level? How and what will it feel like to walk on this collaborative journey to the next level?
So I'm one of your staff members, and I say to you, Miss, what does that mean?
For me, it means that learning will no longer take place in segments, but I will endeavor to, along with my colleagues in their classes, in the difficult areas that they might find challenging, to work with them step by step to help their learners to move from where they are to where they need to be. So it's no longer about the I, but it's about all of us enjoying the fruit at the end of the journey.
Thank you. We have time for a couple more.
What is making all my teachers inspired to be mad? Mad, making a difference so that students are at the center of all we do.
Which means that you're going to do... Oh, there you are. I'm looking for you. Okay. Yeah, what does it look like? I want a verb in there. What does it look like?
What is it look like? I don't understand what you're saying.
What is it that you're going to do?
Oh, I'm going to use my inspiration to inspire them to become mad. Right? And remember, principals 313-4539, hail Keisha at yahoo.com.
Okay, thank you.
Lorna Darling, Kitson Town, all age. Question: what has caused your children to become so excited about learning?
Which means you're going to do?
Celebrate their success.
Sounds good. Okay, right behind you, right behind you.
Evelyn Henry Tracy, Bremerville High School. What is commencement?
And again, I'm a junior teacher and I say, Madam Principal, what does that mean?
It means that we're going to be doing things so differently come September morning. We're going to start with a bang.
I'm looking for specificity. Irene, you know me by now. What are you going to do?
So we are going to be starting with orientation of students, orientation of new teachers. We are going to be selling our vision and our mission. We are going to take it out onto the street. We are going to be taking it to the gate, etc., etc.
Muchas gracias. Right behind you, right behind you. Gentleman in the red shirt.
Hi, good evening. Donald Grant from the Teen Center Foundation. And my question would be, what is proper communication?
And it looks like?
Okay. I just want to share a quick observation that I've made over the years in terms of communication and learning. And we understand in order to learn anything, we have to communicate, right? And we all know the fundamental rule of communication is to send a message and receive a response. Now, how is it that we are teaching and learning and we are not getting a response from the children? Now, I see from time to time teachers come in, they talk, the bell ring, you move on to the next session. Teachers talk, the bell ring, the kids move on to the next session. There isn't a time for the students to say,
I'm sorry, just remind me of your name again?
Donald Grant from the Teen Center.
Donald, so what does that mean that you're going to do?
basically, what I would like to see, this could probably be an idea, is let's say a mandatory 5-minute session for each class where the teachers stop talking and the students actually get to say what it is that they just heard. Because that class could go on and a child would sit there and learn absolutely nothing, and you have no idea about that. So I'm proposing we have like a 5-minute session where the teacher said, okay, what did I just say? And each child would be engaged to go on and say, well, miss, I think you said this and I think you said that. So that's probably something simple and it might just be impactful. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, great. One last one.
Jacinth Haldane, Retreat Primary and Junior High. What is displaying monthly grade averages of all teachers in staff meeting? Using a data-driven approach and competition among teachers.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we're clear. Those of you that didn't get the opportunity to share publicly, you have at least 2 or 3 things that you're going to do that are simple and impactful. This is when I'm looking for nodding heads or hearing yes, thank you. Okay, so you've got some practical things to do. Remember, we didn't come together just to spend time to talk and hear good ideas. When we start a revolution, we see something different. I want to thank you, and like I say, I'm actually trying to make sure that I finish on time because we're trying to make up for lost time. But are there any burning questions just before I close this segment?
Just a question.
We are out like on Friday nights with Miss Davis. Miss Davis love party. And we are out sometimes on Friday night. Sometimes you hear people asking, oh, you're blind and you're here or whatever. But we have life to live. We have life to live. And we are more.
That's helping and fighting the same battle that is around the corner in the same parish with the same realities. There is a little bit more conversation. Is it possible that the information of the persons here, maybe it's something everyone will have to opt into for, data sharing purposes, blah, 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 but just to share who is here, what is their name, what is their role, which school are they aligned to, so that you begin to get sharing and support from the persons who are in your parish or in your same grade level and that kind of thing.
Okay, so I'm looking at the organizers and I'm hearing things, and the short answer to your question is yes. A participant list can be circulated, and apparently it can be done on the app. But Esther is going to, or Kalan, oh no, okay, Esther.
Okay, so remember we told you that there is the app that you can get, and we will have all that information on the app, so you'll be able to link with persons who are in your parish, in your areas. So you can facilitate a number of interactive discourse and events and different ways that you can help each other. And Dr. Rattray says to let you know we'll continue to email things to you because now we can contact you. Good. And notice that she talked about posting things on our YouTube and join our Facebook page.
It's Jane Foundation. We're on all social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. So join us, those of you who are on it.
Yeah, and there was an excellent question that was presented this morning. Someone asked Brother Chris Emden, well, you're going to leave. What do we do when you leave? How do we keep the fire going? Many of the presenters will be interacting with you through many of these apps and the social media, so you will have access to us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I plan to be connected. This is an awesome, awesome organization, leadership, and you are all awesome and wonderful, loving educators, and I wish I would be here tomorrow and the rest of the week. So I do plan to come back. I would love to come and visit some schools and some young people and some teachers. But I think that what we have to do is, as principals, veteran, experienced principals, let's mentor those younger principals, those newer principals. Let's support them. We are only as strong as the weakest link in our chain. If this is a revolution, if this is an army, if this is a fight, we must fight and win together. So we will be interacting through the JM Foundation, and also let's support one another, and you must make sure you reach out for help. But I'm available. I'm on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. You will be able to email me. You can contact me anywhere you want, because if you are here today, you are my brother and sister, and I will help you because you are not too heavy. So let's thank you so much for a great 2 days, and let's support and work with one another throughout the apps and the social media. It's a great way for us to stay connected.
And so I say thank you, and I just want to remind you about the business cards. But my last words from, well, the last words from me are actually from, you have a question for Salome? Okay.
I'm Sandra Campbell and Zoe Cunningham from Carebear Pre-Preparatory in St. Anne. And we are here today, and we've noticed that it seems as if it is all geared to primary and high schools. So we are wondering if there's anything in the pipeline for early childhood educators, a summit like this for us. Because remember, as the Bible says, train the child in the way he should go. And all the problems that we sat here listening today, we're talking about not geared to education,
to early childhood. Okay.
No.
Okay.
We need to start from down there. And if the foundation is not sure, the building must crumble. So you must have problems in the high schools, the children not passing whatever CXCs and all of that.
Okay.
All right.
Received and understood, and I will let Renee answer that question in 1 second. But I just wanted to say my final words. Quoted. Sorry, we got our back to some people. I just wanted to say, he has just demonstrated something that he said in his second presentation yesterday. So if I'm going to quote you verbatim and say the first part, and then you need to finish it off, okay? So, God does not equip the call. No, God does not call the equipped.
He equips the call. That's right, you've been called. And so my question back to you would be, what did we hear today or yesterday that does not apply to a 3 or 4 year old child? I think that everything we talk about, and I'm glad, and I'm gonna tell you, because I work with 4 year old children, and some of them, some days, I think they're 40. And then, when I'm working with their parents, sometimes I just gotta say, bye, Felicia. Let me take care of it. But I think that what you said was very important. 85% of brain development occurs before a child reaches the age of 5 years old. So if we are going to reach those children, that's why we start teaching children chess at the kindergarten level, because we have to get them when that brain matter is fresh. But I think that we must make a serious focus on working with those adults who are working with our children at those early ages. From pre-K to high school graduation, 7 million minutes is all we have. From pre-K to high school graduation before they're going to post-secondary school. So we must maximize that time, and we must make sure that we are addressing some of those issues. So thank you for raising that, and please make sure that we remember that, as you quoted, we must start with them very early and train them and raise them up right. Because I heard about that. They will burn it down to feel the warmth. So I'd rather they feel the warmth of my hug and my love, even if it's tough love, than burn the house down.
Thank you very much. I am done, yes, I am.
There is
a gap. A gap between umbilical severing and the time the rhythm in our chest stops beating. This gap represents stories, chronicles of our work here on earth. To what kind of stories are we giving birth? Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Randy McLaren, and on drum this afternoon we have Ezra. I am a dub poet, a spoken word poet, and managing director of the company outside that makes those lovely bags, Brescia. And I'm here to share with you this afternoon, listening to the presenters and the presentations, one theme I hear throughout, that for this education revolution to be successful, we need teamwork. Anybody agree? Say teamwork. Come again, man. Soldiers, say. All right. So you're going to join me in this one called teamwork as we finish this summit in fine style. This one is called teamwork. I say it must work. When we use teamwork, everyone putting out them effort. It must work with the right policy. Things work out for everybody. Me say it must work when we use teamwork. Everyone putting out them effort. It must work with the right policy. Things work out for everybody. I say it must work when we use. Now, so whether you're a policymaker, a principal, a teacher, you're a part of the team, a stakeholder, where we all have the same goals in sight, and the core values set everything right. Now, integrity. You ever hear about it? And my grandfather made me know about it. Him say, anywhere you go, boy, don't leave it. Foundation for all good relationship. Without it, the ship a go sink. Quicker than the time where you take for think. So be loyal, gorgeous character. Organization run better, and you will remain a trendsetter. Yeah, yes, me boy, I say it must work when you use teamwork. Lord, everyone putting out them effort. It must work with the right policy. Things work out for everybody. Me say it must work when you use. Everyone putting out them effort. It must work with the right policy. Things work out for everybody. Now, make we talk again. Good leadership is very vital. You agree? Now, good leadership is very vital. So stick to it like a true Rastaman. Stick to the ital. Approachable, honest, frank. I said the vision of the team is important. As a leader, rank doesn't matter. Responsible people keep things together. Growth and development, that are the aim. With good practices, we all stand to gain. I say it must work when we use teamwork. Everyone putting out them effort. It must work with the right policy. Things work out for everybody. Me say it must work when we use. Everyone putting out them effort. It must work with the right policy. Things work out for everybody. Me could talk again. Watch your drummer. How you mean? Teamwork. Thank you, sir. No, with principals and teachers, we're second to none. Tell me who can compete with we? None. Just like with the best products and services, you don't have to worry about other companies. Just grant satisfaction daily. Treat your staff like family. Encourage health and safety. A clean environment for everybody. And whatever you do, do it legally. With honesty and integrity. And remember, we are a part of a team. Together, we'll accomplish the dream. Because it must work when we use. Everyone putting out them effort. I say it must work with the right policy. I say things work out for everybody. Me say it must work when we. Everyone putting out them effort. Lord, it must work with the right policy. Things work out for everybody. Me say it must work. When we use, clap on yourself, man. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful afternoon. My name is Randy McLaren, Ezra and Jum. Big him up, big him up, big him up. All right, I'm with next second drummer in the audience. Enough money him get paid for drum for we. Thank you very much, sir. Blessings. Yes, man. Yes, big up all the St. Thomas people. That's my parish.
Brush it back.
It's come to that time of this wonderful day where we must say goodbye. This is really the end of a wonderful second day of production for KiDz Media Network and Juice TV. We're here at the Jamaica National Foundation School Leadership Summit 2016. It's been a really awesome summit conference. We've learned so much. I'm just going to ask each of the hubbles to just introduce themselves, tell it a little bit about themselves and how this experience for them was really important to KiDz Hub and how they have learned from this. We'll start with Jonathan.
Well, my name is Jonathan Smith, and my work at KiDz Hub has been very exciting. I've seen new people, experienced some good things, and I like how I have a family in this group, and that's the whole fact of KiDz Hub. It gives you a family.
Definitely.
So that's what went over.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Well, I must say, I'm very happy that I came to this summit. It was very productive. John Mark and Jonathan, Toriana, and Asanika, it was really great working with you all today. We work as a team and we got work done. We came here to do. And the interviews, they were really, we could relate to each other. We could interact. We didn't just have a normal conversation. It had meaning, which I really loved. And also just to have the different panels, meeting other people at different booths, and it was really interactive.
Definitely. Toriano?
Well, I must say again, I love the speeches. Really, these speeches were excellent, especially the one from Mr. Thomas Salom L.
Salom Thomas L.
Rather, yes. I found it very interactive. He was interactive with the crowd, and I found that very intriguing.
Okay, Asanika.
Well, today was very nice. I got to work with my KiDz Hub Media family again. We did many more interviews as usual.
Definitely.
And of course,
did you have fun?
Many good speeches.
Did you have fun?
Of course I had fun.
We all
I
had
had a lot of fun.
Good, good. So everyone, we'd just like to thank some really important people. Can I just start with the sponsors for this wonderful two-day event? These being Regine, can you read them for us?
Yes, of course we have our sponsors, CW Lime Foundation, Digital Foundation, DOS 2009 Limited, First Global Bank, Grace Kennedy Money Services, Jamaica Brawlers Limited, Jamaican Association of Miami-Dade Educators, Jamaica Private Power Company, JMMB Joan Duncan Foundation, Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, and not to forget CB Facey Foundation.
So true. Thank you so much, Regine. And this broadcast could never, ever be possible without, first, the people who are around us working, who you really cannot see, but we have to make mention to them. We'll just start with our KiDz Hub camera operator. The KiDz Hub camera operators being Samuel Stout, Ramon Mitchell, and Mr. Mark Dillon, really doing awesome work. And now we'll just go into the Juice TV team.
Yes, Juice
They have been
TV.
really awesome, really awesome. We'll just start with Mr. Delroy Thomas. He's really the man in charge of Juice TV. Mr. Ishmael Douglas, one of our main cameramen. Mr. Calvin Ellington, the other cameraman. Mr. Ramon Christie. These men are really important to us. They really sent the content that you're seeing right now. They're really in charge of getting it to you, and they've done very well. Our technical director for KiDz Hub and for this two-day conference was Mr. O'Neill Smith. Really wonderful. I must make mention of our social media team who are not with us. They're Asha Leila. She's in Florida doing a lot of social media work for this two-day event with us, as well as Chevelle Smith Reed. And also I must make mention of the Barbados KiDz Hub summer launch that will be coming up soon, so you can look out for that. So I just want to thank everyone here today, as well as our KiDz Hub ambassador to Jamaica, Mrs. Candalee Crook-Smith.
Of course, we could not forget her.
She couldn't join us today.
Everything she
But
made
really
sure that we
thank
were
her.
on
Yeah, man.
point to bring to our listeners and viewers the good coverage.
And we
that
cannot
we're
leave
getting.
out the Jamaica National Foundation. They've given us this amazing opportunity of broadcasting their two-day event. This is really an amazing opportunity for KiDz Hub. And we thank Juice TV for being here with us and everyone here today. Let me just make mention of how we've really conducted this school leadership as related to getting the content. We've shown how the principals and teachers here and how they presented their different speeches and how they come about their different stories from their schools. And we hope that every single person in this room has learned something, including us broadcasters. So we'll just hear the broadcaster's name one more time from everyone.
My name is Jonathan Smith.
Yes.
My name is Regine Bennett.
My name is Asanika Carpenter.
And my name is Toriana Reed Jr.
And I'm John Mark Prince, and we would like to thank you all for watching this 2-day event. It was really wonderful. A big thank you to each and everyone again, and Uncle Lance in New Jersey who is watching us and must be very proud of us. I really thank you, Uncle. So once again, I'm John Mark Prince, and we are the KiDz Hub Junior Broadcasters of Jamaica. We are giving youth
a global voice.
Thank you.
Improve since 7 because we know our rights, we know that our voice must be heard, and for me, I'm going to let JN proud of me because I know my rights and they have taught me well, and I think I can carry out the most important thing of anybody else and to help any other blind or visually impaired person to know that they are a person. It doesn't matter what kind of disability you have. You are a person, you have rights like everybody else. You can talk out like anybody else. So life is there to live, and we are going to try and make not everybody in the blind society, but most persons be in the position that we are in and know our rights and know how to stand up to persons.
We couldn't have made this happen in the way that it has without her. So, and then, did you ever, guys, get a chance to see those KiDz Hub journalists, the little journalists, and what they've been streaming online? Everybody, Floyd Green, who just came here for a meeting with Chris Emden, and he said, I have been watching them online, and I need to come inside this room and meet them. So he came to get pictures with them and to be interviewed. The questions that those young people are, where are you? Where are you? Come here, come here, come here. This is why the work is real. Put your hands up. Almond Town, KiDz Hub. Amazing, amazing. You guys are incredible. Jamaica is safe, you know. Did you know that? Yes, we just have to create the opportunities and the space for them to shine. So, off we go into the world. Off we go to the world to be the change, right? This was not a talk. This wasn't a talk shop. This is all about work. It's a work shop in the truest sense. So I'm looking forward to hearing the stories and for us to keep the network going and sharing about how we can make our students and our schools achieve more. Thank you so much for coming. We're going to go out singing our theme song that you've been hearing all day, which you all know. Didn't notice it was our
5 years down the road, we hope that more persons, more blind persons will be employed, and we will have, because really and truly, everybody have responsibility. We have children like everybody else to send to school. Even sometimes would I like go to hairdresser like everybody else. So we hope we have good hope looking forward to what the new happenings for Superior Craft and more.
My friends, when I always take a photo, I always say, alright guys, look at this. What do you get from it? And you know, they sit there and they ponder and they say, you know, I think he's talking about so and so and so. I say, alright, you're on the right track. You know, what else do you get from it, and so forth, and then I actually give them what the actual picture that I am painting, and you know, it actually opens their mind to certain issues, and it gives me a chance to, it gives me a voice.
Alright, for me, I am an advocate at heart, really. So because of that, the resolution project is just basically giving me the avenue, because anybody knows my Instagram page, then you realize I always post mad people, I always post people on the streets going through some things and stuff like that, and a lot of these photos I send into JN, and I really started doing photography when I really started Jamaica, just the resolution project in 6B. So because of that, I've developed more and more tolerance for persons and advocating for issues that are affecting us, like domestic love for that more, even though it has been inside of me all this time, but the photography is my avenue of putting it out there.
So it's like basically bringing light to a dark issue then. Yeah. You know, shining light on what persons have never seen. Or
probably overlooked.
Overlooked.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Especially coming from youth, because you know, some people think that we're naive, we're not aware of what is happening. Well, in truth and in fact, we do, but it's just that we don't have a voice. In our sense, we don't have a voice to speak out on it, and the Resolution Project has provided that for us. We have learned to go outside of our comfort zone.
Yes.
Self-confidence has grown significantly.
The greatest soft skill that I've learned is actually how to interact with persons. I was normally a shy person. Now I'm more bold.
Expressing yourself more and get inspiration from other things and inspiring other persons, because I talk about Instagram a lot because I'm on Instagram a lot, and I remember posting some pictures to Instagram the other day, and persons, I think at least 2 or 3 persons direct message me and ask me where you get inspiration from, because they have some really good images. These are things that we see every day, but we don't normally pay attention to them. We walk past them every day. We take them for granted. But now through the Resolution Project, I've developed the skill,
widen awareness.
Widen awareness about things and get inspiration from even the smaller things in life, and inspiring others to do the same. For me, I haven't taken my perfect photos yet, but when I take something close to it, I'm like, whoa. Whoa, and then as everybody say, they put Instagram same time.
about a month ago, I was on my way to work.
Right. And you work here at
yeah, man,
the
right
fire
here.
station?
Right.
Right, yeah.
And I was attending work for a 3 to 10 shift. And on the way, I got to Salem.
Right.
And we met up on a good amount of traffic. So when I saw the traffic, I recognized that, boy, more than likely, this is going to be a good little while. So
Right.
I called ahead to tell him that I'll
Might
be
be
a bit
late.
late.
Good.
Right.
Mm.
So after I called, we were in the traffic, and about 3 minutes into the traffic, I recognized that only one side was moving, and it was our side. So we started looking for persons passing now to find out if anybody had any information as to how
what
far
is happening, right?
this blockade was. So there was this one guy passing, going down the road, and we asked him, and he said, "Are those 2 trucks crash up the road, man? One man stuck."
Oh.
So I said,
awareness level.
So immediately I take out my phone and I call him and say, "Look here, let's send out the truck. We have an accident here. I haven't seen it yet,
right.
but I get information that there's 2 trucks here."
So the training chip
So
in right away.
immediately just chip in.
Because you know that you need additional resources, so you start.
I mean, I had
Yeah.
my daughter in my hand,
Right.
carrying her with me because I was dropping her off at daycare.
Yeah.
So even with all of those things taking place in the vehicle, you find that your mind immediately click.
Right.
So we got to the truck, and when we got there, I recognized that it wasn't one person. It was actually 3 persons in the trucks. There are
Right.
2 trucks head on, and what I had found was a very, very violent accident. One person, basically, you recognize, was unconscious.
Right.
Wasn't responding to anything, touch, sound.
Training.
So
So
immediately,
were you nervous at this point?
No.
Quite relaxed and,
honestly,
and feel.
I was just waiting for the chance to use my training.
All right, sir.
So immediately I just move into gear, and it's the same thing that you had said, When I got on the scene, all the crowds that were there,
Right.
once I got there, just the fact that I was
Took
sure
charge.
about
They took
of
charge.
what I was doing,
Yeah.
immediately they gave me charge of the
Exactly.
entire
Yeah,
scene.
man. Once you go on and you take charge,
Crowd control.
So you
control the
find-
crowd.
And then I started giving people jobs to do. So, and then I found that there was another person there who had training in CPR, and it was actually an EMT. And even though it was an EMT, he allowed me to continue taking charge of the entire scene.
Right.
So we had one person that had an injury to his head, and I didn't have anything on hand immediately at the time because I was traveling in a taxi. So I got the cleanest things I could find. It was a towel, and we applied pressure on his head, and moved on to the other person who I recognized was aware, but I recognized he was in initial shock. So immediately I was able to size up the scene and know exactly how to react. By the time the firefighters and the police got on the scene, everything was so properly dealt with that they got there and they could just easily just move into gear as to what to do. So I could leave them on the scene. In the end, 2 persons' lives were saved out of that accident.
Right.
And I mean, even when I got back to the station, my sergeant took me aside and he said to me, "Boy, he heard about what had
took place.
happened." And it was really impressive the way I dealt with the situation. And then the officer on the scene came back after and said to me, "Boy, I must commend you directly, because I mean, the way you dealt with it. When I got there, I didn't have anything to do. You handed over the scene to me in such a way where I immediately knew how to
Right.
react." So in the end, believe me, Sir Webb,
So training-
everything worked
training,
out.
chipping.
Believe me, man.
Chipping.
I feel so good at myself to know that
Right.
in the end, I was able to give the best of me,
Right.
and it was substantial enough to save 2 lives.
Right.